Hi there, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Elk Calls here ahead of Game 2 between the Bend Elks and the Corvallis Knights. Elks hoping to even the series and set up a rivalry rubber match for Sunday evening. Here with James Williams, tried to keep the ball game alive yesterday. Elks down to their final out. You're able to poke a single and even bring across a run. I know obviously you guys ended up losing the game, but just when you know, trying to avoid being the final out, what's your mentality in that at bat to just keep the game going?
Well, I just wanted to put barrel on the ball and just luckily I found a hole last night and I was able to keep the game alive.
Absolutely, and you've come here recently, recently got here. How do you plug into a team that is on the cusp of trying to get into the playoffs and be in bed and trying to help the team out?
Well, like you said, I am new to the team and I've only been here since I think officially a week now today. And luckily I've got two of my teammates from school. They've helped me be welcoming onto the team, and I'm just trying to bring a little piece of Davis to Bend, Oregon.
Absolutely, just bringing in a piece of Davis. You're also working with Kaden Hogan, who will be getting the start today. Just how was it working with him this past spring?
It was great this past spring. He did well for us at Davis. He was a big strike thrower there, and he's been around the zone here, and I'm looking for a quick game today.
So I know he was traditionally a position player, transitioned actually into being a pitcher. Did you see any signs that gave away that he was not a traditional pitcher?
He's a lot more electric on the mound. He's super competitive on the mound, and he brings a lot of that offense onto the mound with him, and he uses it against the hitters.
So on the other end of the spectrum of a guy who's not as experienced collegiately, but just recently got here, Zach Romero, playing his freshman season, seeing a lot of playing time. When you, as a veteran in the collegiate level, get a guy who's just a little bit rattled getting into their freshman season, what advice do you give him?
Well, I just try to tell them that it's still the same game they've been playing all their life. It is a higher level, sure, but they just gotta relax and just try to play the game like they have before in the past.
And just being able to give that kind of advice, you work with a bunch of different arms here in the West Coast League from all over the place. How do you develop a rhythm with each pitcher and know what they like to do and be able to give them the signs they want?
Well, it takes a lot of time with each pitcher. You have to understand the differences between one guy and the next, and you have to just understand what pitches work for them specifically, but also which pitches work that day. So just understanding your pitcher, and it takes a lot of time. It's a special relationship that you must build.
Right, just to get an inside perspective of the bullpen, what typically goes into, say you're being the starting catcher for a day and you get your starting pitcher, what's kind of the daily routine of getting ready for the game day?
Daily routine, well, we start off stretching on our own. He's doing his own stuff with bands and plyo balls and everything, and I'm doing my mobility and stuff, getting my hips ready for the game. And then we link up right before we play catch, and we go over signs and everything, and then we'll throw and do long toss, and then we'll meet up in the pen, and we'll start actually throwing pitches off the mound, and that's where I really get a feel of what pitches are working well that day, and how I'm going to be calling the game.
Absolutely, be able to get comfortable with that pitcher and develop that chemistry. Is there any pitcher in particular at UC Davis that you worked with that you felt you really had some good chemistry with?
Well, Kaden Hogan's my best friend on and off the field, so I'm going to have to go with that guy.
Absolutely. He's a character too. Sure. Off the field, just how is his personality?
Oh, he's great. He lives a rock star life that it's just everything's about him in a good way. It's his storybook, and he lives it that way.
It's Kaden Hogan's world, and we're just living in it. I know you're originally from Huntington Beach, California. Is there any fun things you like to do at home? It seems like a fun place to travel to.
Yeah, no, the beach is nice there, and just a day at the beach would be great down there.
You do any surfing or anything like that?
No surfing like that, but I do boogie board every once in a while.
Ooh, boogie boarding, I can do that. I can't surf either, so boogie boarding is mainly the way to go for me. I see the iconic pier. Do you go out there, meander out there every so often?
Oh yeah, that pier's legendary. Honestly, they used to have a Ruby's at the end of it, and I'd go there and eat with friends all the time. But they changed it. It's like a shop now with some cool stuff, but it's still nice to look at.
What was the go-to Ruby's meal?
Oh, just a regular burger and fries, milkshake.
There you go. Oh, I can't go wrong with a milkshake on a hot summer's day. James Williams, our pregame show guest, thanks so much for taking the time. Elks taking on the Knights tonight in Game 2 right here at Vince Kenna Stadium.